messy, oh, yeah. Look, I'm in my melody, bobbing her head, she said it's a vibe. Grew up with silver spoons, I had to get her, I had to survive. Bro gon' shoot like a star, no need for a scope. Click on the flash, see the light. See me a chance and I take it. Rolling the dice, I just need luck all the time. I'ma go get it if I know it's mine.
Definitely
KOTV.
back again.
We missing some equipment, but that's okay. Orion's gonna be holding his mic today.
A little different situation, but we still
I have
here.
a very, very, very special guest. So now, I usually have the guests introduce themselves, but I wanted to introduce him because I've been waiting a long time to get him on. So now, I want to preface this by saying, when I started this podcast, right, I started it with the intention on bringing it back to the city, doing it for the city, ultimately doing it for Connecticut.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's anybody that does it more for the kids, does it more for the city, does it more for Connecticut than Mr. Harry Bell, a.k.a. Mr. Color of Positive Thought.
Most definitely, most definitely.
I need y'all to give us a hand. Well, I need you to give us a hand. Yeah, if y'all still there.
I'm honored. It's a pleasure to be here, and, you know, I'm ready to chop it up. Let's get it going.
All right,
Yeah, definitely, most definitely, man. Again, can I just say, yo, the jacket flizzy too, man. Oh my God, the jacket.
Is that for sale?
You know what I mean?
Merch coming soon, man.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
I seen it.
Merch coming soon, man.
Stop playing. It's lit.
Definitely. Okay, so talk to me about where you got your start, kind of, and we'll get to the next question a little later. But talk to me where you got your start.
Yeah, man. It started out with a coloring book that I created for my son because I know he was the type of kid that loves to color. And, you know, a lot of kids at the age of, 4 or 7, 6 like to color. And, and I think if you put something that with a message behind coloring, I think it will resolve and sit a little better because it takes time to color and you want to color in between the lines. So I came up with a coloring book that was catered towards what a lot of youth are going through, especially in urban communities, the negative situations and how to overpower them with positive situations. So I came up with the coloring book, Color a Positive Thought.
That's dope.
Hold on. Talk about, because I feel like you're being real modest right now. I need you to talk about how you was really slinging the coloring book to every hood, everywhere that needed a coloring book.
You know what I'm saying?
Like from
back of the trunk.
I'm talking about out the trunk.
Feel me?
Out the trunk. Like you was every hood.
The Target truck getting busy.
Passing out coloring books. And I'm sure people thought it was funny at first, but soon it caught on. So talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, man. I went off the old school method when people used to be selling mixtapes for $5 out the car.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm from that era. I'm from that type of street mentality. So, I was selling coloring books on the same block where cats were selling dope. You know what I mean? I was selling hope through coloring books, man.
That's crazy.
So, they thought I was crazy. But, everybody think you crazy at first. I thought I was crazy too. But if you don't think you're crazy at first, your goal or your dream ain't big enough. So, you know what I mean?
Like
that initiative of a coloring book now, 20 years later, is a whole movement. It's a brand that give hope to thousands or maybe hundreds of thousands of youth and adults across the state of Connecticut and neighboring states, bro.
Most definitely.
All right.
Like, so, but this is my thing. Like, what made you go, I guess, specifically into the color book lane? Is it because it has like that therapeutic value? You know what I'm saying? As far as like connecting with the kids, like what made you not do like a regular book, or what made you not do like I don't know, what made you kind of stick? Like, what stood out about a coloring book? Who were you talking to? What conversations were you having with people around you that made you kind of like zone in on that? Because that's different. You don't hear about, you hear about, like you said, DVDs, chips, all type of stuff, but you don't hear about coloring books. Like, you know what I'm saying?
So I grew up in a barbershop. I used to sweep hair. So, I grew up around a whole bunch of OGs. So, I had a whole bunch of ideas. I was going to put quotes of positivity on sippy cuts. And people used to laugh at me like, how the hell you going to put quotes on sippy cuts and baby can't read? You know what I mean? So what happened was, I'm not a religious person, but I'm spiritual. Like, you know what I mean? So I do have a connection with a higher power.
Most definitely.
So I really believe that, how everything came in fruition was not like thought out. It was a process, but it wasn't thought out. It was a gift. So that's why I think it actually hitting this capacity of success because, it's not me. I'm just a vessel, just delivering a message.
No, that's dope.
Definitely.
That's dope.
So, what would you say, because the Mr. Color of Positive Thought, like just that brand itself is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So what would you say your why is?
Say that again. I'm sorry.
So what is your why? Like why? Like we know why you started it. You say you wanted to start. You started out with just your son, but now what is your why?
Has the mission grown to be something like what is the? I guess what he's trying to say is like what is the next like level of your passion? Because we know
what keeps you going.
Yeah.
What keeps me going is the youth. I run a after school program in Trumbull Gardens that caters towards 50 to 70 kids a week. Monday through Thursday, we got different programs. On Monday, strictly on homework, help, business planning, things of that nature. Tuesday, basketball. Wednesday is karate slash fitness. And Thursday is in-floor hockey. And then every other weekend we have a program that cater towards the mass, and we bring down celebrities. And on the 21st, we got Fat Boy SSE coming down to talk about gun violence.
Word.
Talk about that. Okay.
That's dope.
So
That's
the first thing I do want to say, and I told you this off air, but I want to say thank you, because the kind of hope that you give these kids, I feel like somebody like myself didn't really have growing up. I didn't see there was a Sheen Center, but everybody couldn't go to the Sheen Center. Everybody didn't have the money to go to the Sheen Center. So that hope you give people to where, okay, they could see this famous person like, oh my gosh, dang, maybe I don't have to be a rapper. I don't have to be amazing at basketball. Maybe I'm funny and maybe that's my niche. Maybe I can make it doing that. Maybe they can make it doing what their passion is, as opposed to just feeling like, damn, I'm stuck and the only way I'm gonna make it is if I ball or if I get these drugs off or if I do this, that, and the third. So I do want to say thank you for that.
Appreciate that.
Definitely.
You definitely shine a light of inspiration and hope, you know what I'm saying, in the city. You know what I mean? Because like Cuz said, like from Taraji P Henson to Today Show to just everything that you dip and dabble in, it just shows people that, oh, snap. Like you said, I could do something else. It doesn't have to be my only lane. Because I think, because we listen to music or whatever, we always think that it's either music or sports. You figure, deal with me, and then when them two things fall to the wayside, it's like now you stuck in like this limbo of just not knowing what you want to do. But by you having these conversations with these people and by them seeing that you could connect with these individuals, they could be the next one to do the same exact thing. They can begin to carry on that torch and do other good work. So it's crazy.
Yeah, I look at it like this, and this is what we do at the Color of Positive Thought organization. Greatness is seen, but the craziest thing, greatness is not seen by the greater person. It's seen by the person next to you. So what we do at Color of Positive Thought, we see the greatness in individuals that probably wouldn't see it in themselves, and we try to have them tap into their greatness. So we are like nurturing them until the greatness come out of them. And that greatness could be anything, you know what I mean? Speaking, the greatness could be writing, but we want people to know that, that hip hop is great and basketball, sports is great, but there's other avenues to your greatness, and we're going to figure it out together.
Okay. All right. So, my next question, I kind of want to talk about the business of it all. So, how did you get into, like, once you were doing the coloring books, you were like, all right, I need to kind of make this official. How did you go into starting that, like, actual business portion of it?
It's crazy because, like I said, I didn't know I was a businessman until, a few years ago. Like, you know what I mean? Because you don't see it. You know what I mean? I'm like, I don't really look for things that benefit me because I'm so focused on trying to benefit others.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So again, it takes someone like my buddy Slater, someone like my buddy Ivan, someone like them two to be like, yo, you're doing it in the business format, but you just ain't got the business plan. I come from the streets. I ain't know, excuse my language, I don't know shit about no business plan.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? I had to learn and teach myself through Facebook, through YouTube. I even went back to school because I graduated with a 7th grade level. I graduated on a 7th grade level. And, you know, I knew I didn't know as much when I tried to get my first job because I had this kid and I didn't even know what to do. So I had to go back and teach myself. First of all, I had to go back and reboot some of the chains that embedded, as rooted in us to do negative in order to see my positive. So I had to really, before I even came out to the world, I secluded myself for 3 years and did nothing but listen to nothing but positivity, building stuff up. Even in my home, like a lot of people wasn't on the same level that I was on. So I'll keep headphones on. And everything you listen to was just nothing but self-motivation, self-build. And I did that for 3 years. So I was able to go out in the real world and not be victimized again to what we are subjected to.
Okay. All right. I like
Powerful. Damn, 3 years. I mean, that's transformation for real. You figure, deal me? That's really that. Damn. I can't.
That is crazy. That's crazy. So I kind of want to ask you something that kind of came up when we were talking. So, what does, and I love how you worded this previously. What a success story looks like to you.
Man, you know, there's different levels of success. You have some of these big time organizations like the Boys and Girls Club, and what I have a lot of respect for. And you know, you would ask them, they were like, "What do you have any success stories?" And they'd be like, "Oh yes, Tawana or James got a 4-year scholarship to this school, and now they coming back helping out and stuff like that." And that's awesome. But with the kids that I deal with, you know what I mean? Success comes with making sure, and you gotta understand they 13 years old is the oldest. Success is making sure they eat, making sure they get home safe, making sure they smile. So my success story is that 9-year-old that I'm dealing with make it to see 16, or sometimes even make it to go home and get a meal because that young girl is have to play the parent to her 3-year-old brother. So me being able to help her bring a meal home to her little brother because her mother or dad worked multiple jobs and she's stuck to try to fend for herself and her little brother, and she was able to do that through the help of me. That's my success.
Okay. All right. Cool.
That's different. I ain't gonna lie. That's why I was different.
So now, what do you do with the kids that are in your programs that seem a little rough? Like they giving you a hard time, they giving the help a hard time. How do you deal with them?
Don't let up.
Because you be on the front lines. Like I want people to understand. Like you're really on the front lines. You're not just with the kids that are the good kids. You're with all the kids.
All the kids.
Anybody that's willing to let you like be with them for that time.
And that's the thing too, people, like, you know what I'm saying, a lot of people talk, you know what I'm saying, talk good talk, you know, do little Twitter fingers and they be typing online. Because it's really dealing with, you have to understand, when he says 50 to 70 kids, you're dealing with 50 to 70 different personalities, 50 to 70 different situations, 50 to 70 different, you know what I mean, entities, different individuals that have all types of stuff going on, and you taking that on.
For real.
So I think, like, yeah, like Cuz said, how do you decide who gets more, you know what I'm saying, more attention than the other individual? How do you decide where should more your focus be for the day? Like, what is it like? Do they give off like certain signals? Do they say certain things? Like, how's that whole process?
I can tell you right now,
because that's
he'd
crazy.
have been a problem.
Oh yeah, man, me. Lord have mercy.
Problem.
Ask the homie.
So reality, we all know. You know why we all know? Because we was in that predicament. We might not have been that child, but we all know. So in reality, we as, especially people in my role, I work for the school system as well, and I run an organization. So the reality of it is that we might encounter that kid that we know that's going to be a success. So there's little Todd or little Craig that we know that something about him, he's going to be great.
Okay.
But we also know that we encounter that first killer too. You know what I mean? But we try to put that under the rug, and we try to do more or be don't think about it. But reality, we have to think about that because we know where Craig or Todd could go.
Yeah.
So when we see them little little verbiages of where this kid could go, that he can go into the street, or he might be the next dude that run this side of town and might kill this person in a little bit, we have to step in. That's the kid that I want to pay a little more attention to, the one that is saying SMD more than the other kid. Okay. Or that girl who's 13 or 10 years old with a body that attracts older people, and she know that it does, so she wear less to show, to try to get attention. So I try to be more aware to that and bring young ladies that can help that little girl.
Okay.
And be of value to her life. We see it, but sometimes as humans, we try to not go there because we don't want to think it, but we have to.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's like they're kids, but it's like you gotta kind of deal with it there.
Yeah,
gotta be realistic with the situation.
Okay,
yeah,
that's crazy. Okay. So how can the people help you? You do so much helping us, helping the kids. What can the people do to help you in some way?
Yeah, because I heard something about 1.5 million pounds of, you know what I'm saying, produce hit the city. That's crazy. That's remarkable. I heard you was out there, getting out there, you know what I mean?
Do you want to talk about that story?
Yeah,
that's wild.
Yeah.
So
you know what I mean?
The floor is yours.
Yeah, so
the whole school captain, like, what happened? I want to know what, like, you know what I mean?
So back when the pandemic first started, my this young lady I watched grow up, her name is Shamanda.
Shout out to Shamanda.
She was working for Trader Joe's. She was working for Trader Joe's, and she was like, back then Trader Joe's, like, they are known for fresh products, so they don't like to hold stuff too long. And when the pandemic was going on, people wasn't coming out, so they had to get rid of stuff. Yeah. So she reached out to me. So every week they'd give me like maybe 50 boxes of different items, from grapes to fruits to veggies to meats, and I would just go to every hood, bro, and go live in a pickup truck. Come out, it's your boy, Mr. Color of Positive Thought. It's your boy, Mr. Color of Positive Thought. Come out. I'm in PT. Okay, I'm in the Terrace. I'm on the West End. I'm on the South End. Come out. I'm in Marina. Come out. I'm in the Greens. Come out. And it just like snowballed. And then a lady who's a close friend to me, Amy Stefanowski, who husband was just in the governor race, had a friend and said, she want to give you food. Her name is Karen Thomas out of Torrington, of Friendly Hands Food Bank. And she was like, do you want to take the food? I said, yep. I said, yes, I want to take the food. I didn't even know how much it was. She said, okay. She called me. She said, it's yours. You got 3,500 boxes of 30 pounds of food. And
that's never going to sound normal.
I wouldn't even know what to say.
Just so you know, that's never going to sound normal.
3,300 boxes of food? What you?
35.
3,500 boxes of food?
Yeah, so she said that, and I needed a place to be able to distribute and store. And I got in contact with Doug Wade from Wade's Dairy in Bridgeport, and for like 3 years we was going at it, man. And I was able to bring over 1.5 million pounds of food to the city of Bridgeport.
That is crazy.
Gee.
That's fucking nuts, yo.
Why? For real.
Yo.
Really, you want some
that gotta be in like the Bridgeport Hall of Fame or something. We gotta put that.
We gotta put that on a plaque somewhere. Just, you know what I mean?
Seriously. But how can the people help you though?
Man, financials is always good, but what's more than financial was consistency and time, because that's what these kids need. You know what I mean? A check will help, but your time and your a vow to come and rock with these kids will go further. You know what I mean?
Okay. So when you say come and rock with these kids, like people can go and like, okay.
Yeah, you could come.
Like,
you want to come show love and start building a rapport. You know what I mean? And you got the right intentions. You know what I mean? We are open every day, Monday through Friday, from 5 to 7:30, bro. And just come you know, eat with us. You know, break bread.
All right, okay. And I got one question before we get out of here.
You gotta put that on the shirt too. You know, what you said.
He been giving us a hell of a lot of quotes, right?
Yeah, put that on the shirt. You not do that. Yeah,
low key, he been hitting us with them. When I go back and edit this, I'm like, damn, he was talking. But,
for real.
I have one more question before I let you get up out of here.
No doubt.
What have the kids like helped you with? What have they taught you?
That's a dope question. I didn't get a spot like that. That was smooth. That was a nice one.
What have the kids taught me?
Yeah, because I mean, I'm sure you teaching the kids so much, but what are they teaching you?
Keep going. Don't give up. And it might be a little rocky. It might be a little hard, but they're getting something out of it. You know, and this is bigger than me, man. You know what I mean? I can't stop now because I represent a whole community. You know, it's not about Harry Bell, about Mr. Color Positive Thought anymore. Maybe in the beginning, you know what I mean, because I didn't know it was gonna get this far. But when you reach certain aspects in life, you know, you got to really understand that if you fall, a whole community fall with you.
Heard you.
That's powerful, man. Now that's wild powerful.
Got it. Okay. All right. Well, I want to say thank you for coming.
Nah, most definitely.
Thanks for having me,
Most
bro.
definitely,
Anytime.
man. Now we really
I
appreciate
had
it, man.
the
Real
Harry
talk.
Bell on here, Mr. Color of
Okay.
Positive Thought. If y'all got any kids and y'all busy, y'all want to get them in programs, y'all want to get them right, here's your guy.
Yeah.
KOTV.
Kings of the Vision podcast, you know what I'm saying? Harry Bell, you know what I'm saying? Don't play what I'm saying with the shell. Got to do it well, you figure deal me. And we know what I'm saying, we singing like Adele. Not really, but you know, don't and don't shoot and tell either. You figure deal me, we out here. And one more thing before I go. Listen, man, your name's gonna, you know what I'm saying, ring through the history books.
Perfect.
You know, long past your time, because what you're doing is, I mean, the stepping stone that you're creating right now, like your monument is already there. You figure deal me, like your statue, you feel me, is already like in place in not only Bridgeport but in CT, because there's people who I don't know, man. I look up to individuals like you. You know what I'm saying? You look just like me. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? But, you know, it's like you got glasses, but you know, it's what you're doing is like it's powerful, because I've been one to even create my own little type. You know what I'm saying? Like book, whatever, and just to see you do it. And like I said, the jacket is Fizzy McDizzy. So we just can't wait to see what else I'm bringing to the table. You know, it's King of the Vision, and you watch. And don't trust me when we up there lit. Oh, you coming?
For Shizzle.
100% need you back.
For Shizzle, I'm at the Dizzle.
Come on.
My Nizzle.
All of that, man.
Get up out of here, bro.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, you already know, my G.
Real talk.